I'm Sarah Tilley from Curious Maths. In this video, I'm going to share with you some times table songs that I've enjoyed over the years and actually some of the favourites from the children I've worked with. Using song is a really useful tool actually when practicing the times tables. In fact, I can remember lyrics from my teenage years just from a song I liked. So what I've put together is a collection for you to have a look at, and then you can sit down with your child and decide which ones would work really well for them. Now, the beauty of using times table songs is they're a great filler inner. So if you've got a spare 5 minutes, you can put one on and your child can dance around, but also in the car on the way to school. It doesn't take children long to learn the melody and start singing it without the video. So it's a really great way of just keeping those times tables practiced and rehearsed so that they can actually remember them really quickly when asked to apply them in the maths classroom. The first channel I'm going to share with you is Laugh Along and Learn, and this is really popular in the area of London that I work in, and children and teachers love it, so particularly children actually. So they do a variety of different times table songs, as you can see on the screen. The top one there, the 6 times table, that's an animated cover of Taylor Swift's Shake It Up. So if you like that song, you might be put off if you listen to the 6 times table version. But it does depend, I guess, how old your child is as to whether they would remember the song and whether it would be useful. But as you can see, they've got quite a lot there. So the one I'm going to show you is the 6 times table with the Jamaican Peanut, as the children I work with call him, Ziggy. The children find the song very catchy. They often like to get up and move to it. They like having the references on the screen. So if they're not sure of the times tables, it's got the flashcards on the screen. So that's really helpful. And it does seem to be a rather catchy tune.
Feel the rhythm on the bass,
Learn your 6 times tables today. Sing with Todd and Ziggy all the way.
That gives you a bit of a flavour of what the song's like, and you can see how big the writing is on the screen and what the tune's like. So that could be a good one if your child requires some support on screen and they are learning this particular times table. The second channel I'd like to share with you is Percy Parker, and actually I think this one is my favourite. Really nice animations, quite nice songs as well, because some of the songs after a while are quite difficult to keep listening to as an adult. But, you know, Percy Parker, I think, has nailed that. One of the other things I like about this is the person who's written them has thought really carefully about the times tables and the lyrics in that times tables. They've made a connection. So, for example, Biz was the bee, the one I'm going to show you in a moment, is the 6 times table, because a bee has 6 legs. And if you look down the screen, you can see that the 9 times table is linked to cats, because cats have 9 lives. The 8 times table is linked to a spider. It all makes sense. This is also quite interactive because the lyrics come up on the screen, which is a great help if your child wants to sing along. But also they put questions up on the screen, which your child has to answer. So it's a really nice interactive video.
I was chilling on a sunny day, one Sunday in the month of May. A friend of mine, she flew my way. It was Biz was the bee. She was hanging out her socks, you see, 6 for each of her family. How many socks altogether? Well, let's count them and see.
Singing how many socks to dry has Biz was the bee. 1 times 6 is 6, and 2 times 6 is 12, and 3 times 6 is 18, and 4 times 6 is 24.
So that gives you a bit of a flavour for the song. You can see how the 6 times table has been related to the insect, the bee, and the pairs of socks, which I think is great. We've also got the questions at the bottom, and you can see we've also got a times table square, which will give your child some support when they're joining in with the song. My third recommendation is for the Super Movers Times Table Collection. This is by the BBC, and the whole idea of the Super Movers collection is that your child's meant to get up and get moving. So we do use these quite a lot in school, especially at the start of a day or at the beginning of a maths lesson, but really good perhaps in midway through doing some work at home. If you feel that they need to be perked up a bit, they could jump up and do one of these. Now, if your child likes football, there might be an added bonus here too, because all of the characters leading the video are football mascots. So what I like about this is that you can get up and move back to it, and they've thought about that in the beat of the music. But also the mathematical sentences come up on the screen, so they provide a good support for your child. But also they count in multiples, so not just saying the full times table sentence, which is really important, but also sort of skip counting 0, 6, 12. I think it's a good idea to mix it up a little bit.
His name is Fred the Red. He's gonna help you be a master of your 6 times table. Yeah, you're gonna see. His name is Fred the Red. Move your body to the beat. This is your 6 times table. It's super duper sweet. Fred, Fred, Fred the Red. With a 6 times table in your head. Fred, Fred, Fred the Red. With a 6 times table in your head. Fred, Fred, Fred the Red. With a 6 times table in your head. Fred, Fred, Fred the Red. With a 6 times table in your head. 0 times 6 is 0. 1 times 6 is 6. What's Fred doing now? He's jiving with his hips. 2 times 6 is 12. 3 times 6 is 18. 4 times 6 is 24. The window wiper with your paws. 5 times 6 is 30.
That gives you an idea of what the Super Movers are all about. So if you think that will work really well for your child, have a look at the collection. My next recommendation is for the Quick Brown Fox TV YouTube channel, and this is a musical couple who have used their talents and put together some times table songs. Now, the only drawback could be that some of the songs are quite old, so some of them are up to 5 years old, so it just depends on whether or not your child will remember them. But actually, in some cases, it probably doesn't even matter if they've remembered the original. So if your child likes musical theatre or enjoys singing themselves, they might really like this one.
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Inside my body, inside my brain, the 6 times table goes around and around again. In the mix we start with 6 and then sprinkle in a 12 and some spice like nice 18, but don't stop. Splat on the floor, 24. Boy, you're making such a mess. Dirty 30 needs some help. And who's best? Well, under the lights where the numbers stick, there's nowhere to hide but 36. And we move just me and you. Just imagine
42.
nothing left for me to do, so just wait, feeling good.
Okay, that gives you a bit of a feel. So some of the drawbacks maybe is that it hasn't got any prompt on the screen. So if your child isn't fully aware of that times table or know them really well, then they might struggle to keep up. And there's a lot of extra lyrics, of course, because it's a cover. But I just thought it'd be worth sharing because some children out there might really like it. So my penultimate recommendation is the times table songs for kids on Twinkle Kids TV. And as you can see, they are animated songs and actually they're really quite nice. So got a little bit of a story behind them as well. So that links, and children often remember lyrics through story. The visuals are really clear. You can see the times tables across the screen, and there is also some skip counting. So they do actually consider quite a lot of different things when they put these videos together.
I have as many friends as I have legs. That's right, it's 6. But there's one thing that we can't agree on. That's right, picnics. I I get so excited, but I'm always uninvited. I'm starting to wonder if it's politics. I think the only antidote is mathematics, so I'll show them I can join in times by 6. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. They all end in a number that's even. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 6 is 36. It's a times table you can sink your teeth into.
So that gives you a bit of a feel for the video. As you can see, there's quite a lot of story caught up in this one, and it might be that your child just wants to join in with singing the actual times table part. But I think the animations are really lovely, and there's some nice referencing to even numbers as well, which is what we always have as products of our 2 times table, 4 times table, 6 times table, etc. So yeah, I really like these two. My final recommendation is the YouTube channel Number Rock. And as you can see on the screen, there are a huge number of different math songs here. But as we scroll through, you will see that there are some times table songs. Now, these are particularly suitable if your child knows the times tables already and they're just practicing, because what I find with Number Rock maths videos generally is they go really fast. And so children are often just skip counting, saying the multiples, 0, 6, 12, 18, etc., rather than saying the full number sentence. Now, the 6 times table version of the Number Rocks one is the one I like the least, actually, but I'm going to share it with you so you can get an idea of how it compares to the other versions of the 6 times table. But actually, I find that a lot of children who are a little bit older, they prefer Number Rock videos. I think they're a little bit cooler.
6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60, 66, 72.
All these are multiples in the 6 table. All these are multiples in the 6 table.
6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60, 66, 72.
All these are multiples.
So as you can see, you've got to be quite fast to keep up with the Number Rocks. But just like the other channels I've shown you, they do have ones for all the times tables. So have a look at them and see what your child thinks. Those are my recommendations for some times table songs which you could use at home to support your child in remembering them. So I'm going to apologise in advance, actually, because I'm sure these times tables are going to get into your head and under your skin. They drive me mad after a while. But what I can say is that stick at it. For some children, this makes all the difference. And for many children, it just brings a little bit of joy into practicing times tables.